Season 4. Now, endgame is a word that's thrown around a lot in Riverdale. Have you in mind an endgame for the series at this point? Have you started thinking ahead?
For the, well, I think before we're even thinking about the end, I think we're trying to figure out what to do after the kids graduate.
Sure.
And we've talked about a few different scenarios. You know, early on we had to make the decision whether this season would be senior year or if we would try to split senior year between 2 years. And the truth is, you know, for a high school show, we're very rarely, more so this year than we've been in the past, we're in the classroom, we're in the hallways, we're in the locker rooms. So it felt like, rather than try to like artificially keep the kids in school for another calendar year, it felt like, you know, let's push forward and see what happens and how we can follow their stories.
Sure.
Is there a particular storyline from the comics that you're trying to bring into the show?
Yes. I would say the one thing that is in the comics that we have not done on the show, but I'm determined to do on the show this season, is the Archies. The Battle of the Bands. Like that feels like the jalopy, like the milkshake, that feels like a quintessential Archie thing that we have not yet done.
We see a Jughead eating contest.
We have not planned one yet, but that's from the comics, right? Yeah. We could. Yeah. Yeah.
What about chances for a crossover potentially with Sabrina?
You know, I keep trying to make it happen. I think it's more likely that we'll do a Katie Keene Riverdale one. And I think it'll probably be Riverdale kids going to New York, which would be really fun.
Since you've kind of ushered in this Archie renaissance we're in, both with the comics and obviously the TV universe, I'm wondering, like, given how busy you are, is there any chance you'll go back and kind of finish what you started with after? Like,
you know what? I have to. You know, Archie just put out this beautiful hardback of Sabrina, and they put out this beautiful book of Francesco's art. I have to. I'm like dying to do it. It's like, you know, I don't think anyone anticipated that this was going to happen or move as quickly or become as huge as it did. I know I didn't. So I was like, and I'll sort of keep doing both, but it's pretty all-consuming working on the shows. But those books make me think, I've got to do it. I've got to do it for sure.
Now that we know that the farm were a bunch of charlatans, as Betty hypothesized, are we ever going to get an answer for how the twins were able to levitate in the premiere last year?
They were a hallucination that Betty had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they weren't gaslighting Betty. That was the one time that, like, they were telling her the truth.
When she had a seizure, she had fugued a little bit and saw that.
Okay. Fair enough.
Last year was absolutely the weirdest season of Riverdale yet, and it was my favorite season.
Okay.
Because I know that there was like kind of a mixed response to all the Gargoyle King stuff. I personally like weird Riverdale and weird Archie comics is my personal favorite. And it seems like it's scaling back a little bit this year.
Yeah, you know, I too loved last season, and I thought, you know, we introduced the Griffins and Gargoyles, and we got tons of story out of it, and I feel like in the end we landed that story. And I love that it was retro and it was like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. I won't lie though, by the end of season 3, the storytelling was so baroque and complicated, you almost couldn't breathe in the episodes because there was so much stuff happening. I think this year we're loosening it up a little bit. There's still a cool retro element that we'll introduce, I think, in episode 3. But it's a little bit more psychological, a little bit slower paced.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite scene?
A favorite scene from the series?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think the pilot will always be a really special episode. But in terms of scenes, gosh, no, I can't think of any.
For me, it's always been the I'm Weird speech.
Oh,
That's always been a favorite.
yeah. Well, that was a great scene.
Was that hard to film?
No, not really. I think the actors. That was episode 10, season 1. I think we were pretty dialed in. I think the actors were really up for it. Maybe I really love the song 17 from the Heather musical.
Yes. Yeah.
That was really good. But no, I mean I always try to have special scenes in episodes.
Right.
Yeah.
I love your work on American Psycho.
Oh,
And,
thank you.
I was wondering, have you ever considered
That being the Riverdale?
being the show that you do? Because I think tonally it would work.
Yeah,
great.
it could. It could. It would. It's funny. Duncan Sheik, who wrote the music, asked me the same thing, and at first I was like, no, that's too. It would be almost like
Almost a
nepotism.
conflict, yeah.
Yeah. But you're right. I mean, it a lot of it could work. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.